Let's check in with Hayley Woodin with Business in Vancouver for a look at some of the stories that she's following today, and an interesting one about Lyft, the ride-sharing service. They're facing a pretty big lawsuit. Tell us why.
This involved a class action lawsuit between California Lyft drivers. They were successful in their suit. They will be awarded $27 million US. And it came around the idea they wanted to challenge their independent contractor status, which essentially meant that they were responsible for their own costs and expenses for gas, car maintenance, and they weren't entitled to the same benefits an employee might have working for another company in California. Now, it is important to note that $27 million might be perhaps a bit of a drop in the bucket for a company like Lyft, but it is fairly significant. It could set a precedent in California moving forward, even though the courts are noting that this still is a bit of a gray area when it comes to employees versus contractors and how to sort of deal with the status of employees or contractors at companies like Lyft and Uber.
And obviously there's been a lot of talk about ride sharing coming to British Columbia. It's an election campaign promise right now. What might this lawsuit mean for BC?
It's going to vary essentially state to state or province to province in terms of how issues like this are dealt with. But I think it highlights an area that the BC government and municipalities are going to have to consider as they start to look at, the potential risks involved with bringing ride sharing services or ride hailing services to BC. There's also a lawsuit in Quebec against Uber around the company displacing and putting out of work taxi drivers and companies. That's going to be another one the BC government is likely watching, as it could make it quite expensive for companies like Uber and Lyft to operate if they have to pay higher employee costs and if they're responsible for the disruption that they cause.
All right, and just quickly, I understand that some franchise owners of Tim Hortons are concerned that the corporation is taking way too many corporate cuts.
Yeah, Restaurant Brands International has launched quite an aggressive cost-cutting campaign over the past couple of years since it acquired Tim Hortons in 2014. Franchisees in Canada have banded under the banner of the Great White North Franchisee Association. They're concerned over a lack of transparency, they say, in how the company deals with its franchisees. It's also concerned that really this is impacting not just the bottom line of the company, but really the brand in the eyes of consumers.
All right, Hayley Woodin with Business in Vancouver joining us with those stories today. Hayley, thanks for being with us.
Thank you very much.